Gentlemen, welcome back to another weekly announcement. We got a good one today because the Paparazzi is after Actualize. Who knew? So early, yet they want that. They want that. You know, they see what we're up to. So we got some Paparazzi, and there is now a space live inside of the community of all of the Paparazzi going off and taking a bunch of crazy photos. Look at this, 4 albums already. We're gonna backdate some more. If you click on any of these, you got the Paparazzi. Jeez! Look at the fucking crispness of these photos. All right, these are crazy. My boy, Nikos. All right, so tons of photos. Paparazzi's going off. They even came out to the camping trip. They're sneaking out. All right. So tons of photos. I think this one had 500 photos in here. These paparazzis don't stop, man. They're just going crazy. Okay, so the name of the game is anytime we host events, we want to try to get great content. There's a few reasons for that, of which is you guys getting better content for yourself, because I think having a great personal brand and social profile with great photos is really important. And then obviously, you know, we're able to do what we do with the content as well. So if you have photos in here, go leverage them, post them on your socials, post them wherever. Again, dial in your personal brand because it's very important. I made a video on surrounding yourself with winners. And I was explaining that one of the ways in which I've been able to expand my network to a very, very good network of amazing guys. Like, I'm in pretty much a penthouse here, downtown Vancouver, because I hosted a dinner in which this guy showed up to, and then we ended up doing a podcast, lived with him for 30 days, and now we're brothers, and now, you know, he has been very open to letting me stay at his place. And that was a result of my social media, out of all places, and then that led me to meeting 2 other guys, then they introed me to Jordan here, and away we go. But the amount of guys that I've met as a result of DMing them or finding them on social, and then they look at what I got going on and see that my profile's put together, I'm doing cool shit. And if I go on your social and I just see that you got dusty photos, it doesn't look like you're doing anything relevant or interesting, like, I may overlook you. And you might be a sick dude in person, but the reality is that we got to have something to judge ourselves off of. And so we are constantly going to push you guys to level up your personal brands, because we believe that you get a better life when you play the game a little bit. And that's just having great photos on your Instagram and showing that you're doing cool stuff. Okay? So some of you guys went out to the poker night, you went to the camping, and you came out to a dinner. That's 3 scenarios in which you have high quality photos now to post onto your Instagram. So I won't go any further on that, but just know anytime we host events, like we're about to do the Vancouver retreat here starting today, we're gonna have a ton that's going in the Paparazzi, okay? Every dinner will be in here. Every time we do cool events in Toronto and Vancouver, we're gonna be capturing it, putting it in here, all right? So that is number 1 update for this week. Number 2 update, which is just as big, is chapter spaces. So with every new city, there will now be a chat and events calendar, and we highly recommend feedback on this. If there's anything that that you guys feel is missing to make the local chapters be able to have conversation, to connect with one another on a deeper basis, and be able to scale the community, please let me know. But if we were to look at what this looks like right now, up until now, this has been the main event calendar. This will be changing. I'm going to probably change the name of it. And in down below community, there is now chapters. So this space is now chapters. There's a Toronto chat, Toronto events, Vancouver chat, Vancouver events. We're just in the works of building this up. By the end of next week, we will have all of the Vancouver events for the next 60 to 90 days laid out. And then the chat will start to be open. The Toronto chat, I'm going to be moving all of the Toronto members in there. That being said, a few things. 1, if you are in Vancouver and you want to come to Toronto, you should be able to see the Toronto chat and events in which you can join temporarily, communicate with everyone, see what events are going on, come out to them, and then vice versa for Toronto to Vancouver, and then eventually all cities that we roll out to. That said, the gathering chat will continue to be the kind of source of truth that goes across all community. And so what I want to encourage you to do, and I will continue to bring this up as we start to expand and set this as the norms moving forward, the gathering chat is for anything non-geo related, okay? So day-to-day conversation, like the conversations that are going on right now, birthday to Jake, shout out. Munip, talking about ads. This should be actually a post in business finances as a side note, but none of these are restricted to a region. When you're having conversation about a region or speaking to Toronto members or Vancouver members about this or that pertains just to Vancouver, just to Toronto, I want you guys to be using the chats accordingly, okay? But I highly recommend using the gathering chat as the core place you still communicate and converse with everyone so we can all be part of the conversation. As we grow into the 200, 300, 400s, there will continue to be more spaces in which we can have more niche conversation to make sure that the relationships and the intimacy scales, but we're still at the place where it is sick having a gathering chat with 100 and some guys in there, and then as needed we can move into the geo specific regions. All right, so that will be rolling out, and we will starting to be just nudging you guys to start putting things in the proper place and opening up the calendars, etc. On that note, Vancouver's picking up. We had 3 guys join from Vancouver this week, and we had a couple last week. So I believe we're up to 6 in Vancouver already, which is hype. All right, so welcome, gentlemen. Very, very much appreciate you guys, and just want to celebrate you guys for A, being one of the first guys to join as part of Vancouver, and then B, just appreciating you guys taking the leap of faith on us, the mission, what we stand for here at Actualize. It's really special, and I know Vancouver, honestly, I've been blown away with the quality of guys here. I know we're going to have a sick chapter out here in Van, and a lot of these Toronto guys, you guys should be coming out and visiting the Vancouver guys. I've been on my content game, all right? So one of my roles as part of the community is to continue to put great education out there, both in the public world and behind the scenes, so that we can help you guys educate, level up, and become your best self-actualize, and to get the word out further and further about the mission, about the community that we're on, to bring more guys into the community for you guys. So I would love, A, if you guys could give me a subscribe on YouTube. This is going to be the main platform. And B, check out some of the content. I am always going to post it in the community as well, just so you guys have access to it. But I would love anytime new content comes out, you support the boys. So that's it on that. On to events. Whoa, showing some goods here. We got some new stuff this week. Events just released. So Camp Actualize, pretty cool event. It is going to be something that we do on a little bit of a short notice. It is October 24th, Friday. It is a weekend, Friday to Sunday. If you haven't checked this out, highly recommend checking this out. If you're in Vancouver, maybe there's a good opportunity to come out to the Toronto chapter and meet some of the guys. This is going to be a great event. It's going to be on the smaller side for the first one, and then next year we're going to absolutely crank this. So Camp Actualize just released. This week we have the retreat, okay? We got a bunch of guys right now in the air flying as I record this, which is super cool. We got 18 of us, or about 20 of us, I should say, heading out to the chalet out in Whistler, which is going to be amazing. One thing, if you're from Vancouver and you're not coming to the retreat, I offered this up to one of the other guys. On Friday, we're going to be going and doing the hike at Garibaldi. If you want to join us on the hike at Garibaldi, that's the one area that you can come in and join the crew and do the hike with us. So if you're from Vancouver, you want to come do the hike, we're going to start at 6 a.m. So from Vancouver, you'd have to be up there. Let us know. That's the retreat. Super excited about that. We're going to have so much good content coming out. Wednesday, we got the calling party. Cole's going to be hosting that. That's been awesome the last couple weeks. Basically, what it is, you just jump on, Zoom call, just pump the sales, okay? Whether it's DMs, whether it's calling, whether it's, anything, just get on there, make some money. Thursday, Run Club in Toronto. It's still running, regardless of if the crew's out here or not. We got August hosting it. Shout out August for hosting that. And then we also have the accountability call. I didn't put it on there, but the accountability call is 100% happening as we see fit. And then Sunday, We got Sunday Club in Vancouver, Battle of the Coast. We got the Toronto guys coming out. We got the Van guys here. We're gonna do a little bit of a challenge between West Coast, East Coast, and then we got the session happening in Toronto as well. That is still live and running. Next month, super important. We got our all hands. Okay, this is coming up October 2nd, so next Thursday. All right, be there. It is going to be a really good conversation, community-wide, on the state of the club and what's happening over the next quarter, and then our plans for 2026. And we want you there because we want to get your feedback in your conversation around the things that we're thinking about for next year and how we're going to be scaling. What cities should we be scaling in? What events should we be planning for locally, regionally, etc. This is super important for you guys to show up to. Next is developing polarizing relationships. This is our next mentor mastermind. Last one was with a now member, Mr. Cole Verbeck. So appreciate you, brother. That's Wednesday. This one's going to be a banger. All things polarizing relationships, the masculine, the feminine. We're going to be drawing on some great wisdom from some of our favorite books on the topics. Get RSVP'd, get locked in there. Going to be a banger. Last one, Othership Social. This is for our Toronto members. We got 16 guys in here. Wow, let's go, boys. So I'd love to see a packed house. It'd be sweet if we could just fully take over Othership. I think it's like 30 members or something that we would need. But nonetheless, we'll go in there and we'll show up. And that is after IROX. All right. Oh, last thing. Another mixed social is in the works for October. If you guys know of any women that would be a great fit to come out, keep them in mind. And if you know any women's communities, let me know. Keep them in mind. I would love to communicate with them to put together a couple communities and have a mixed social. All right, new addition to the weekly announcement is giving some shout outs to new members and new candidates. So first and foremost, Sebastian and Sal have officially gone through the 30-day evaluation. They passed, they're in, they're joining us as members inside of the community. And so welcome, gents, both of which are actually here in Vancouver for the retreat. Super stoked to keep building relationships with these two guys. Sal's been awesome. He has hosted Poker Night last week, which was awesome, or maybe that was 2 weeks ago now. Sebastian, great member so far. What I've been loving about you when we chatted about this was your desire to help and like just wanting to get super involved, and also just like your energy, man. So shout out you guys. New candidates this week. Guys, we had the biggest week ever. Shout out Nick, shout out Hunter. It's been awesome. We've been getting some really good guys, like the guys that you're seeing on screen. Alberto, Shell, Raj, Brian, Caesar. Dude, Caesar, look at this photo. Oh, I can't make it any bigger. But man, this guy's a fucking professional dog walker, man. It's such a sick business. So gangster. So love that. Dimitri, Joel from Van, Zane from Van. Yeah, just shout out to all you guys. New candidates this week. So you guys are going through the pipeline, trialing the first 30 days, seeing if you're a good fit for the community. So stoked. And we had 5 more of you who haven't added a profile, so you get no shout out. I'm sorry, boys. You gotta put a photo up there. And this is back to the paparazzi. Some of you guys didn't put it because you don't have a good photo, and I get it. Okay, so we need to get you guys some good photos. We'll get you dialed in for the dinner next week, I think it is, or in 2 weeks' time. Top contributor of the week. So this is also some new stuff we got here. Top contributor to the week is Mr. Dimitri. Guy comes in hot and is just contributing like crazy. And so the goal of this is to show recognition for a member who has positively contributed to the community the most through valuable posts, insightful comments, or hosting member-led events. So we have some analytics on the back end that we can track who's creating the most posts in the last 7 days, who's engaging with everyone, who's hosting events, etc. Dimitri comes in, 3 posts. This post was an absolute banger and got some crazy engagement, which is great. And so I just love that. Conversation starter. All right, great engagement with everyone and loving the energy. All right, so shout out Dimitri. And Fast Start Candidate of the Week, also Dimitri. All right, so first week, and we got a back-to-back, which is sick. And this is basically to recognize new joiners who have quickly started to engage with the community, in which Dimitri is not only just joining this week, but he's also contributor of the week, fast start candidate of the week. Let's go, dude. That fires me up. And so, member spotlight is a little bit different, and as we've been doing this for a few weeks, is to show recognition for a member doing cool stuff in the community that we feel deserves a shout out, in which I'm going to give shout out to Sebastian because he is hosting a co-working at Impact Kitchen every Monday. This is for our Toronto members. Every Monday at 6 to 9:30 p.m. as a way to plan the week and shut down powerfully. So Sebastian's been doing that for the past couple weeks now. That's on the calendar for a bunch of events, and that is one of the first events in the Toronto events. So there you go. Protocol spotlight to wrap things up. We got planned tomorrow, today. Simply put, gents, this is one of the most powerful practices you can put in place in your life if you want to stay dialed, stay focused, and have more and more masterpiece days in your life. So before you do start your planning tomorrow, today, all right, you want to close out today powerfully. So here's how it works. You first ask yourself, what was completed? You want to acknowledge the wins. Again, you as a high performer do not celebrate yourself enough. So celebrate what was completed. This could be small, this could be big. Just what did you work on? Just get clear on that. It's also good to document and make sure, were we working on the right things today? What was missed? At the start of the day, you said, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. What did you do? What did you miss? All right, acknowledging where we're falling short, shining the flashlight, what needs to be changed as a result of that. Were we overdoing it? Were we underdoing it? Were we distracted? Did something come up? What was missed? And then overall thoughts and reflections. I think journaling and constantly reviewing and reflecting on your actions is one of the fastest ways to develop self-awareness, which allows you to make iterations faster and become better at self-optimizing. And so what is your overall thoughts and reflections for the day? Asking yourself that. Grab a journal, put it here in like a digital journal like Notion, and then moving on to tomorrow. So some key things to make it work. What is the first and most important task you're going to start with tomorrow? This is called your deep work, all right? The highest leverage, needle moving, focus or goal focused task that is going to move you closer towards what's meaningful to you. So asking yourself, what is most important to me? What is my goals? All right, and then what is the current bottleneck, the current constraint that I'm working on? Is it the system I'm building? Is it sales? Is it learning the skill set? Is it developing this project? Whatever it is, ask yourself what that is for you, answer it, and then make sure that is the first thing you're doing in the morning. Okay, that is when you're the sharpest. That's when you have the most energy. That's when your brain is the clearest, and that's when you should be doing that. And that should be the first thing you do when you wake up. Okay. So answering that, very important. What tasks are carrying you over from today into tomorrow? Or are you putting it back in the queue or whatever? And then what am I doing for my energy? So again, we live by energy first lifestyle, okay? One of the principles inside of Actualize is you need to have an energy first lifestyle if you want to self-actualize. That typically comes down to two core things you need to focus on every day. What am I doing to move the body? That could be walks, that could be going to the gym, that could be playing a sport, but what am I doing to move the body? And then what am I doing for my nutrition? Again, if you do not know when you're gonna eat and what you're gonna eat, when it comes time, you're gonna be too frantic, you're either gonna not eat, you're gonna pick something shitty, you're gonna feel rushed, you're gonna be burning brain power, not good. If you plan it the night before or if you plan it for the week because you have your systems dialed, we're gonna be in a higher state of energy more consistently throughout the week, which is gonna make it harder for anything to knock us off, all right? Very important. So have that scheduled. You should have your breakfast, lunch, dinner, whenever you're eating in your calendar. You should be knowing what you eat. Do you need to prepare anything? Is it already prepared? Got to answer that. Is there anything you need to do to prep for tomorrow? Meetings, deadlines, etc. Just some of the basics. Again, answering that before the day starts. Making sure we're dialed. And then what this does is it allows you to release yourself of any mental bind from work and surrender into the night for restorative sleep, knowing you've done the planning to be ready for a masterpiece day tomorrow. All right? This is arguably one of the most important parts of this whole thing, is that as a high performer, as a ambitious guy, we're constantly thinking about work, myself included. And if you know that everything is taken care of, it's planned, it's thought about, you can go into the night not worrying about and not having it held up here which allows you to go and have a great sleep, which is the main thing we want to be optimizing for heading into the night. So that's it. My question of you for this week is, what does my masterpiece day look like? Of which we're going to drop in the gathering chat. Question of the week. What is my master? Wow. Who caught that? That's hilarious. There you go. That's it, gentlemen. I really appreciate you sticking around here. We're rolling on 20 minutes. There's lots happening because the community is growing. And I appreciate all you guys. I have so much love for you guys. And I can't wait to keep growing the mission.